Welcome to this mini mindful movement and meditation session. So we're going to spend about 10 minutes doing mindful movement, and then we'll move into about a 5-minute meditation. So we're going to start seated. So come into a comfortable seated position. So that might look different for you than it does for me. Sitting cross-legged here. Take a few moments to settle in. Maybe change positions if you need to. Maybe prop yourself up on some cushions or pillows, whatever makes the most sense for you. And once we're feeling a little stiller, a little more settled, we're just going to lower the gaze down towards the floor. And we're just going to connect to, this is something I heard in a meditation recently, connect to the fact that we have a body, that our head, our mind, our brain, where we spend so much of our waking hours, sometimes even during the night, spend so much time there and not very much time in the body that's connected to the head and the mind. So connecting to the body, your body, noticing that it's there, starting to send the signals that we're going to be using the body. So feeling or connecting to your posture, whatever it looks like in this moment. And then we're going to lift our gaze back up. And we're going to take our arms wide. Slowly, we're going to begin to float our arms up. Noticing this arc that we're making over us. We're going to join the palms at the top, so feeling that contact between the hands, fingers. We're going to press into the palms and lower the arms down the center. We're going to be present as we release that contact and take the arms wide again. So as we repeat this movement, trying to stay with the full movement. So as the arms come up, feeling the movement, feeling this contact between the hands, pressing the hands together as we lower down through the center. And then releasing the hands. We're going to do this one more time. We breathe in, we feel the length of our arms here. Maybe some sensations in the fingers. Feeling the contact again. Pressing through the center. We're going to stop just below our face, so in front of the chest. And then we're going to release the hands, bring the fingers to the shoulders. And we're going to begin to draw circles with the arms and shoulders. So breathing in as the arms come forward and around, and breathing out to complete the circle. So maybe noticing the contact of your fingers on your shoulders. Just tuning into whatever sensations within the body, within your body, are present for you. So this is how we're practicing staying present, by staying tuned into the body. This is what mindful movement is all about. Once the arms come in front again, we're going to reverse the circle. So we're going to take it back, around, and down. Breathing in as we go back, and breathing out as we come Maybe tuning into the weight of our legs here on the mat. And we're going to finish the movement with the elbows pointing down to the ground. From here, as present as possible, we're going to lengthen the arms out to the sides to a T. Holding here, just tuning into the sensations that you're experiencing. We're going to rotate our trunk to the left, the arms will follow. We'll take our left arm down to the floor and the right arm to the outside of the left leg. So we're in a rotation to the left here. We tune into our breath. And at the same time, noticing any sensations that might be present for you here. Slowly beginning to bring the arms back up to the T and untwisting back to the center. Just a sharp pause here. And then we twist to the right, bringing the right hand behind us, left arm to the outside of the right leg. Again, tuning into the flow of your breath. Connecting with any sensations that you feel. So that could be maybe some stiffness or tightness. Maybe there's some itchiness somewhere, pressure. Just examples of what you might be experiencing. Just slowly float the arms back out to the T. And then back to center. And with awareness, with full awareness, we're going to lower the arms down to the floor. So we have our first little transition here. So I invite you to be as present as possible as you're moving through this transition, where we're going to sit sideways on our mat with our legs out in front of us. Weight on the heels. You're going to bring your feet nice and wide as your mat. Or if you're not on the mat, then wider than your hips. And you're going to take your hands behind you, either deciding whether to place your fingers pointing towards your feet or the opposite direction. Notice for a moment if you're collapsed in through the shoulders and through the back. If you are, you're going to lift yourself up without going into the opposite extreme. Just coming into a natural, neutral position. And we're going to begin to sway the knees from side to side, as if our legs are windshield wipers. We're cleaning the windshield. So the knees fall to one side, and they lift up through center and to the other side. So everyone's range of motion here will be different. But ideally, we're not moving the pelvis with the legs. We're just letting the legs go as far over as they can without our pelvis and hip lifting off the mat. So as we go back and forth, I'm just going to let you tune in to what you're feeling here. If this is a movement you've done before, then I invite you to imagine that you haven't done it before. So come in with a beginner's mind, it's the big part of mindfulness. Stay curious and see what comes up. We're going to bring the legs back to center now. We're going to come off our hands. Sit ourselves up as tall as we can, so we're no longer leaning back. So now we're centered over our pelvis. This is where you may want to sit on a cushion or a pillow just to allow you to lift up a little bit more. And then with full awareness, we're going to float our arms back out to that T position, palms down. And then moving from our center, we're going to twist to the left. Let the right hand come down between the knees, the left hand comes down behind you. Slowly you're going to round over your left leg. So you're going to see where you feel the weight through the pelvis. Is it more on the left? Is it centered? Is it more on the right? And then you're going to shift your weight back so that you're even through the pelvis. I'm giving you your answer there. And then you're going to stack your spine back up one vertebrae at a time. Then we'll float our arms back out to the T, back to center, pause. And we'll slowly twist to the right, moving from the center. Left hand comes down between the knees, right hand behind. And then with full presence, you're going to round over or towards your right thigh. Chin drops towards your chest. Tuning in to whatever you are feeling here, wherever it may be, whether it's in your feet, crown of your head, or somewhere in between. All sensations are valid. Slowly shifting your weight back to even out the weight through your pelvis. And then stacking the spine from the bottom all the way up. We float our arms back up to the T, back to center. And then as mindfully as possible, you're going to float the arms out so they're in front of you now. You're going to lower the hands to the floor. Reopen your knees a little bit wider. You're going to start to walk your hands forward, eventually rounding into the space in front of you. Don't worry about how far you're going. Listen to your body. Tune in, stay tuned in. Do what feels right for you. And what sensation is coming up most glaringly for you here. And just allowing it to be as it is. Slowly we're going to start to walk our hands back towards us, towards our center. Weight back onto the pelvis. And we stack the spine back up. We're back nice and upright. And this is going to conclude the movement portion. So we're going to move into the meditation now. So I'm going to sit in this cross-leg position as I started. But I want you to find the position that's right for you, as I said at the beginning. It doesn't have to be the position that I'm in or a position that you've seen people meditate in. So stay tuned in to your body and check in, see what's right for you in this moment. Maybe laying down is what's better for you. So once we're settled, we're gonna either lower the gaze as we did at the beginning, or if it's comfortable for you, and then you're gonna close your eyes. So lower those eyelids, taking out that visual stimuli. And again, just connecting to the fact that you have a body, as silly as that might sound. Noticing your posture here. Trying to leave out any judgment. I know there can be a lot of judgment around our posture here quite a lot. So if you're noticing some judgment coming in, see if you can let it go. Another important part of mindfulness is practicing non-judgment, which we can practice during movement sessions, during meditations. Then that helps us to practice it in the moment, such as when we're having a conversation with someone. Let's take one hand to our belly, kind of mid-belly, let's say. Feeling that contact between your hand and your shirt or your skin. Maybe you notice the temperature between your hand and your body, or the rest of your body. Allowing your breath to flow naturally. Staying tuned in to where the hand is. See if you notice any movement happening at your belly. So what's happening there naturally as you let your breath flow as it wants to. And if you're not feeling much there, that's okay. Just noticing that as well. Watching for any chatter in the mind here. Why am I not feeling any movement, or whatever it may be that's happening. Just come back to that sensation of the hand on the belly and back to your breath. Now I invite you to take a deeper breath in through the nose, if that's possible, and then out through the mouth. And doing 3 more breaths like this, staying tuned into the movement at the level of your hand. Letting your natural breath come back. And just knowing that we can always connect to our breath if that's comfortable for us, in order to bring us back into our body, as funny as that sounds, and back to the present moment. We'll take our hand off our belly now and place it maybe on your lap, or wherever is comfortable for you. Releasing the focus on the breath. We're going to bring our attention to our ears and to sounds. So bringing our attention to whatever sounds are most obvious to us in this moment. Just allowing them to come to your ears as opposed to searching for them. If you find you get lost in the sound that you notice, you start labeling sounds. You may want to just say sound whenever a new sound comes into your attention. And now staying open to more distant sounds. sounds, allowing those sounds to come to your ears. Slowly releasing the focus on sounds, coming back to the physical body, the contact between our body and the surface that we're sitting or laying on. Taking in our posture once again, the length of our body, the space that our body is taking up. So we're slowly releasing this practice. So when you're ready, lifting your gaze, coming back to the screen. I always like to take some movement after being in stillness. So you're welcome to join me. I hope you enjoyed this mini mindful movement and meditation session. I call it mini because I run the full length sessions, 45 minutes, once a month live virtually. You can find them in the schedule on my website under live stream classes. So if you enjoyed this, maybe check out the longer practice, the live one. I hope to record more of these so you have a few to choose from as well. All right, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you at the next class.